This is what I mean by emotional manipulation. This is buzzwords to get people to play into, oh, my bills are, high. Oh, I have frustration in life. It's someone else's fault.
They have completely screwed this all up. And this is yet another story that I would say we got completely right, because we told you that they wanted to have their stupid No Kings protest. And we told you that they wanted to have the election in Virginia with all of the federal employees who were likely to be showing up. And that as soon as they did that, which they did, at some point they would buckle. And it's amazing how quickly we pivoted from, boy, Republicans have got a real issue here to try to figure out exactly what's going on, to, boy, Democrats are a mess. 8 Democrat senators have joined in. And now, as a result, I think you're going to see a real civil war breaking out among the Democrat Party over how do they solve that? What is the next step? What should they do going forward? And I don't know that they even have a very good answer, because right now Hakeem Jeffries is speaking on CNN Live and he's screaming at everybody. And these 8 senators have come out and they've made the choice that they wanted to make. And so I just think this is exactly what we told everybody was going to happen. They had no plan. They got nothing. They threw a temper tantrum. You've got a 6-month-old. Hopefully he's not having temper tantrums yet. But at some point in time,
behaved than Democrat senators.
At some point in time, you get the temper tantrum that comes out, and there is no result, and they're going to be even more frustrated. The left is going to lose their mind over this.
So Trump put this out, as we've said, there's already been agreement. I don't think Democrats could really walk back from this in the Senate after they've made these concessions. And we'll get into some of the specifics of what the deal looks like to get the government back open. Over the weekend, Trump was saying, and many others were saying too, nuke the filibuster, time to go all out, time to make and there may still be an argument underway about that. But here's what Trump says about air traffic controllers. This is always, Clay, historically, where the rubber meets the road, so to speak, on the shutdown. When people really get angry is when air traffic is a complete mess, and you have people that are not able to go on business trips, on vacations, go see relatives, waiting 3 hours, waiting 24 hours, canceled flights, all that stuff. So Trump put this out. All air traffic controllers must get back to work now. Anyone who doesn't will be substantially docked. For those air traffic controllers who were great patriots and didn't take any time off during the Democrat shutdown hoax, I will be recommending a bonus of $10,000 per person for distinguished service to our country. For those that did nothing but complain and took time off, even though everyone knew they would be paid in full, I am not happy with you. Very, very Trump here. Very Big Daddy Trump letting everybody know where he stands on this.
Yeah, and look, I do think if you're a Democrat and you are convinced that Trump is a king and you are convinced that Trump is Hitler, and you finally had your party say, we're not going to take this anymore, and then they just meekly come back and say, actually, we're just going to open the government back up. And I do think, Buck, this is a function of all of the travel issues, because whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or an independent, if you have to stand in line for hours to get through TSA, people lose their mind. And if you have to put yourself in a position where you are somehow defending that absurdity, it's not a good spot to be in. And again, I just come back to, we said this exactly was what was going to happen. They would get through the elections on Tuesday. They would look around and they would say, hey, we don't really have the ability to keep this up forever. Republicans called their bluff, said we're not going to change anything. And as a result, these Democrats, these 8, just came back meekly and said, okay, we're going to do it. Here's what they did, Buck. They gave Chuck Schumer an opportunity to look tough so that he can stand up to AOC, right? Which I think is a huge part of what he's trying to do. And then ultimately, even though he's not involved in reopening the government, he voted against it. His number 2, Dick Durbin from Illinois, was in favor of it, which kind of gives you a nod that Chuck Schumer is telling his constituents behind the scenes, hey, let's go ahead and do this. And the whole thing is just, it's a debacle. Let's be honest. There is no actual benefit that the Democrat Party has gained in any way.
Well, they threw a tantrum, and yes. I think that they've set the groundwork for the emotional manipulation that is going to be the foundation of their midterm pitch, right? What are they going to say so that they can take control of the House? And then all it's going to be is do everything you can to stop Trump from doing anything for the last 2 years of his presidency, right? Do everything you can
impeach him.
Impeach him and just be as difficult as possible. Grind the gears of government to a halt to the degree they can do that. They're really heavily leaning into the class warfare stuff. It's feeling very 2009 all over again here.
Mamdani took the mask off, Buck, in his speech. Even the Washington Post editorial board, I was reading it, said, "Oh, he's a gentle, socialist." As soon as he won, he was like, "We're coming for you. We're going to tax you. There are going to be consequences. We've got a mandate. We got over 50%. Get ready." Yeah,
and that's. People say, well, what happens to the identity politics of the Democrat coalition? Well, they shift focus a little bit now. They go from race communism to old school communism. That's essentially the playbook, I think. And that's why the healthcare issue plays so heavily into this, and why Bernie Sanders, of course, Bernie Sanders is one of the big voices you'll hear out there who's upset, as he always is, about the millionaires and the billionaires and all this stuff. This is a video that he released on social media. This is cut 2, where he is slamming. What is he slamming? You'll hear it. Play it.
Tonight, 8 Democrats voted with the Republicans to allow them to go forward on this continuing resolution. And to my mind, this was a very, very bad vote. Just on Tuesday, we had an election all over this country. And what the election showed is that the American people want us to stand up to Trumpism, to his war against working class people, to his authoritarianism. That is what the American people wanted, but tonight, that is not what happened.
Clay, what is the war against working class people? What is that? What does that even mean? This is what I mean by emotional manipulation. This is buzzwords to get people to play into, oh, my bills are, high. Oh, I have frustration in life. It's someone else's fault. If it is someone else's fault, fine, but let's at least know who and why and then fix that instead of just playing on the rage of the masses, which is what Bernie's trying to do.
We lost, Buck. I don't know if you got your prize picks pick in or not, but we lost, and we lost early, unfortunately. I'm going to give you another pick on Thursday. We got to get back on the winning trail. We've had 4 wins, which, to be fair, is more than I thought we would have over the course of the entire season, because we're actually playing try to win multiples, right? 2, 3x your money, which means you don't have a huge percentage chance of winning every week, but you can have 100% chance, in my opinion, of having fun with prize picks. You can play in California, you can play in Texas, you can play in Georgia. No matter where you are in the country, you can get hooked up right now at prizepicks.com when you use my name, Clay. You play $5 and you get $50 deposited into your account. That's prizepicks.com, code Clay. Again, California, Texas, Georgia, Florida. If you're feeling left out, 40 different states. It's awesome. You're going to have more fun if you love football. We signed up. We just moved. Finally, we've got YouTube TV. I know there's been a big battle, but we had the NFL Sunday Ticket this weekend. The boys were watching. President Trump was calling games. If you didn't see it, he was in Washington in the press box breaking down the game with the people calling the Washington game against the Detroit Lions. It was a lot of fun. We'll have some fun talking about that. But in the meantime, you can get $50 when you play $5. That's prizepicks.com, code Clay. Prizepicks.com, code Clay.